Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Krista Escamilla Show podcast. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. And it's a very special episode because this weekend is Father's Day, and I can't think of a better person to have on this week than the best father in the world, my husband, Al Escamilla. So
thank you.
Thanks, sweetie, for doing this. You try and you succeed. You've done a great job. Really good job. We want to thank our sponsors before we dive into all the things we're going to talk about today. But first, we want to thank our sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be able to show. We're so grateful. We will begin with Tapestry Hotel Midland, Rig ID Workwear, Thin FR, JoinCapClub.com, Hotel Santa Rita, and Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial. Also, we want to add in Midland Cap Company. I don't know if I said that one in the beginning.
I don't know.
If not, you got two shout outs.
That's right.
So there you go. Thank you to our sponsors for keeping the lights on and for believing in what we're doing here. So what are we doing here, Al? What are we doing?
Well, you've grown the show. This morning where we decided we're almost down to 10,000 downloads.
Yes, and 30,000 listens,
Yeah.
And it's growing daily. And
Keeps
those are just
adding
the countable ones.
Yeah.
There's others out there, like Facebook podcast used to be a thing, and now it's not, so we had a lot of listeners there.
When I listen to a podcast, I don't download it.
Right.
Yeah,
So we're just grateful that people are listening, that you are finding some value to this, because we find value to every guest that sits in this chair. We learn something, we grow together, we learn something we did not know about them. And I mean, it's been fun. I love the fun facts that we hear.
And I think it's always interesting of the people that tell us that they're listening to the show.
Yes.
Like our UPS driver asked if he could look in the studio the other day.
I love that.
Yeah, and that was really cool.
That is really cool.
So you just never know.
Well, and I believe that everybody has a story, every single person.
For sure.
I can't wait to hear everyone's story. And I truly, you've heard me say this, I'm like, oh, it's podcasting day. It's my favorite day of the week. I'm so excited because we get to learn from each other, and we get to share those stories of people of the Permian Basin who make an impact, which is everybody. Everyone makes an impact here. We're all in this together.
That's right.
So.
And the stories are so interesting. Like you said, sometimes you think, oh, well, I don't know what this story is going to be, and then you listen to it and you're just amazed at how good it is.
Absolutely.
Everybody does have a story, in fact.
Absolutely. Yeah. This weekend is Father's Day, and so we thought we would just jump on and talk about different things. Father's Day, some like traditions, maybe some Father's Day advice.
It's my 24th Father's Day, right?
It is your 24th Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
And so, you've been a father a long time. You could definitely give some advice out there.
I can.
I would
love to do that.
Good, because I would love for you to share it, because I think you are such a great father to our 4 kids, and you're almost a different father with each kid. Because you learn and grow as you go.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I'll ask you, what is your best piece of advice? Because we have some friends that are new to parenthood, right? We just got to see a brand new baby, that was just born the other day, little Henry Thomas. And so, what advice would you give to someone that is a new father?
I don't think there's just one piece of advice. I think it transforms, and like you said, every kid is so different, and so you have to make sure that, some are more sensitive, some, are not. Some, the common denominator is love, right? Mm-hmm. And your kids need to know that you love them unconditionally. And I think
at every age.
Yeah. And, one thing that I've been working on lately is when you're a business owner or you have a boss that's demanding, and you're on vacation and you're making memories, I've tried to really focus on realizing when a memory is being made, right? Mm-hmm. So, if you're on vacation and you're by the pool and your kid wants to play ball, but you can't because your boss is texting you, just mute it for a little bit and make that memory and enjoy it, because later on you're going to look back. You're not going to get that time back. And I think that's one of the regrets that I have, is thinking, we'll come back or we'll do that again, but you don't get that time back. And so I've really tried to make sure that I'm in the moment with the kids, regardless of what, whether we're at dinner or whatever it may be, especially now, with our 4, it's hard to get them together anymore.
Right.
So
the older they get,
That's right.
Those of you that have kids that are older and adults and they've graduated college, or you don't get those moments as much as you did when they were all under your roof.
Yeah. So that's kind of what made me think about it, is every moment when we're together, it's a memory.
Yes.
So just try to enjoy it, and then, listen to them, have fun, because that's the fun part.
Yes.
Is when they're together. And,
oh, I love that. I love hearing their giggles in the other room.
And our youngest is 15 and our oldest is 24. And how old was Alex when Austin went to college? Was he 8 or 9?
He was 9.
Yeah. And so, as parents, we took that for granted all these years that we thought they knew each other so well.
Yeah.
And then we started going back and going, well, do you remember when we did this? And the answer was, no, I don't.
Yeah, that's always fun. Ask your kids if they remember going to Disneyland when you took them, or Disney World,
like
or
promised we took you.
or all those fun places you took them when they were little, because they don't remember. Like a certain age on, they just don't remember.
Yeah.
Right. So which I thought, as a parent, they would remember forever.
We keep asking, are you sure you don't remember? Because we promised we took you. Right. So
show them pictures. Is this going to spark a memory?
Do you remember this? No.
No.
So we've made a conscious effort. As parents, like our youngest just went and spent a long weekend with his older brother.
Which was great.
And so you have to do that, to make sure that they get to know each other, especially, when you have a brother as good as Austin and Alex, they're just great kids. They need to be able to spend that time together. So, as you evolve as a parent, you realize every stage is different and you just have to keep adapting to what is going to make you a good parent now, and I think sports is important. We raised all of our kids and they all played golf. And we did plan it that way. We just didn't know that they were all going to love it so much.
Yeah, you have no idea. You can introduce a sport, as you know. I mean, we introduced all of them. We introduced soccer. We introduced baseball.
Track.
We introduced track.
Basketball, volleyball.
Yeah.
And Allie played volleyball all the way through high school, and she was really good at both sports. And so you
never know.
We had to embrace that as well, because we could have been crazy golf parents and said, you're just going to play golf because that's where you're going to get your scholarship.
Right.
But by your third one, you're like, just do it all.
Do it all.
The
see what you like to do.
Now I've tried to convince Alex to play baseball on his days off, during high school, and he's just like, Dad, I am not playing baseball.
I'm not a baseball player.
No, he's not. So.
But I think that's good advice. And I've probably said this before on the podcast, but I believe that the best piece of advice I was given when we were pregnant with, I was pregnant, but we hid together with Austin, was never wish them out of a stage. And I love that piece of advice because you do sometimes catch yourself, right, when they're little going, oh, I can't wait to play ball with them, right, when they're a newborn and you're, and there's not as much interaction. Oh, I can't wait to play ball with them. Well, don't wish them out of the stage. Enjoy that stage, because that stage is going to be gone really quick. Yeah. And so, and they're all so great, every stage. And you probably got tired of hearing me say it, but as the kids would get older, I'd go, oh, this is my favorite age.
My favorite stage.
This is my favorite. And he'd go, you said that about the last one. I'm like, well, this one is.
But I think one thing that you said that it still holds true is that when they're young, it's physically demanding, and as they get older, it becomes more mentally demanding.
Yes.
I think that's an accurate statement.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say about sports was, I think Austin was 8 years old, and we were in a golf tournament at Hogan Park. I'll never forget. I think we were on hole number 15, and he missed a putt, and I said something to him, and he got these big old, gator tears, crocodile tears coming down. And when we were walking off, I thought, I will never do that again.
Right. Never coach during a round.
So you never coach during a round or during a game. You coach before the game, after the game, but not, and then the other rule that we made as parents was we never talk about a round of golf or the result of a game on the ride home, because that becomes the dreaded ride home. And so I would say if you have young kids,
we do the shot of the day. That's
shot
it.
Of the day.
Positive, focus on. And then later on, as it trickles out, usually through dinner or something, they'll start to mention it. But that's when they want to talk about it. I think that's important.
And they're all different in that regard as well.
Yeah.
Some of them want to talk about it immediately. Some of them need 3 hours.
Right.
Some of them need a day.
Right.
Some of them we still haven't talked about. So I think that you just have to gauge your kids, but I think it's really important to coach when you're training,
right,
and enjoy when they're playing.
Right.
I think that's a big deal for me,
right.
and
just encourage when they're out there playing. I mean, the kids need nothing more than positive encouragement. And that's not to say that you don't correct, right? There's time for correction, but during those moments, they just want to see, that you clapping and cheering, and those moments are there at a different time, I believe. And everybody coaches different, and everyone parents different. So you can take what we're saying if you want. I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but that's just what's worked for us.
Our kids have been beaten by, kids that their parents were just really, strict, and they've gone on and played at a higher level, but that just wasn't who we were,
right.
And
everybody's different.
Yeah, and I don't think every kid's meant to, be in the NBA or on the PGA Tour. Yeah. And it really has to be, that's the other thing that I've learned is that, if it's their desire, we can't do the work for them. You and I know that.
Yeah.
And so we can't make them work.
They own their own game.
They got to own it,
right?
Whatever it may be. And not only in sports, it can be that way academically as well, right?
Absolutely. Like sports, academics, art, music, theater, dance, whatever it is.
I just happen to see it in sports more often than I see it in anything else.
Right. Let's talk about, that's great advice, by the way. Let's talk about the best piece of advice that you ever received from your father.
Gosh, my dad, so I was 23 years old when my dad died. And so kind of like Alex, I remember him dearly. But I'm going to say that I'm going to have to go to my mom for that, because she was the, let's see, what's a nice way to put it? She was the stern one in our house.
Well, we always say good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My dad just kind of went with the flow. He was the nicest man, and he was just a really hard worker. And I think one thing that I learned from him was just to work hard.
Yeah.
It's like, he was like clockwork, 7:50, the door closed in the morning, and he was off to work. At 6 o'clock, 6:05, his truck pulled up and he was home, So I think from him, I just learned work ethic. But my mom was adamant about fighting, don't lose a fight. And with her, it could be a fist fight. It could be, as long as you didn't throw the first punch, she was okay with it. But usually, it was a track meet or a football game. But she really instilled that in me, is like, just don't give up. Just keep fighting. Tomorrow, the sun's going to come up tomorrow. Just keep going.
Yeah.
And so that's really what I've carried. So I have to give, my mom thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
How about you?
You have great parents. Oh, I've learned so much from both parents as well, mom and dad. And going into this Father's Day, it's for me, it's been 3 years since I lost my father, and he was a great man that lived life with such joy that I'm gonna try not to cry now.
He was definitely a good cop.
He was definitely.
He was not a bad cop.
Which is probably why I'm the good cop too in the family. But I feel like he shared so many great things. But one thing that I always remember him saying was that everything's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Always. He also told me to buy the shoes. He would say, "Buy the shoes. You need, if he could tell you were like maybe going through a rough period in your life, or you're a little down on yourself, he'd be like, just go buy the shoes, And he just really had such joy in his life that's the biggest thing he taught me, was to live each day with joy.
Yeah.
And that's probably where I get my positive, attitude about life, is because life is short.
He was definitely one of a kind.
One of a kind.
It stressed me out to watch how unstressed he was. I would always tell Krista, your dad is never going to die of stress.
He
and I love that about him.
I do too.
I'm jealous of it,
And the way that he made people feel, I think he made everyone feel special, and he could tell a joke like the best of them. Yeah. Like I used to always think he should have his own talk show, and he would have been.
He did entertain people for a living.
He did, and so I just really would say that's the best thing, that to live each day with joy. And then I, as well, from my mom, learned hard work, and with parenting's tough,
It is tough.
And so for all moms and dads out there and parents, I just want you to know you're doing, as long as you're doing your best, or trying your best, you're doing the best that you can. And I love the Maya Angelou quote that says, "You did then what you knew how to do. When you knew better, you did better." Yeah. Because sometimes I can look back and go, "Oh, I wish I would have done that differently as a young parent," right? Mm-hmm. But once you know better, you do better. And so
I would think, one piece of advice that I wish I would have known as our girls were growing up, more than our boys, because the boys love video games, right? Mm-hmm. And so that used to kind of, annoy me a little bit when they were playing video games. But now it doesn't bother me one bit because they're laughing. But girls are it's different because they have cell phones. They don't play video games. And I would do whatever I could if girls would put their phone away and play video games.
Video games.
Yeah.
So there's your advice to daughters.
Yeah,
if you have a daughter.
And then the other thing I would say is, put the phone away at a certain time, and we didn't do that.
We did not.
And sometimes when we tried, our kids were really smart, and they were like, "Oh, you can have my phone. There's an iPad, here, or whatever."
Yeah, we didn't know the iPad was in there, and then they're still messaging. But that's what I was talking about. Like, you learn as you go and as you grow. And we had great friends that poured into us and said, "Oh yeah, put the phone up at a certain time, lock it in a box, or do this or do that, or have a station." But we just didn't do it, right?
I mean, our 15-year-old's first Instagram post was when he was 5 years old.
Right. It's no longer there now.
So we're,
he scrubbed.
We did not do it perfect.
We did not. Gosh, no.
Like, you want Instagram on the phone? Sure.
How many perfect parents are out there? Raise your hand. Okay. There should be no hands raised. There is no such thing as a perfect parent, right? Nobody should be raising their hand. I know I'm farthest from it.
Same.
And that's just how. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. And that's why I say all you can do is do the best that you can do.
Yeah, that's right.
And and if it didn't go well today, try again tomorrow.
That's right. It's okay to try to fix it.
That's right. So public apology to our children right now. If there's anything we did not do right, which was a lot of things, I apologize.
On the fingers when we did that.
Yeah, they're like, let me begin. But I think that's important to know that nobody does it perfect. And so just do the best you can. Wherever you're at in your parenting journey. And
if you have any questions, you can call us. I mean, we might be able to help, but I don't know.
I feel like I should
Krista.
Not be giving parenting advice.
No, you should.
But I love being a parent. To me, that has been our greatest joy.
I mean, it's been our life.
It has. We'll be married 25 years in December. And it has been beautiful.
It has
Loved
been.
every second of it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some traditions. I know a lot of families have traditions. We've probably mentioned this before. One of my favorite traditions we do at dinner is high-low. Best thing, because you get kids to open up about things that they normally would not talk about, but then they're going, okay, but what is my high today? Oh yeah, and then it comes out. Because the car ride home from school sounds a little bit like this. Hi, sweetie, how was your day?
Good.
And that's it. What happened at school today?
Nothing.
Right?
I mean, if I could send you an emoji, I'd send you a thumbs up twice.
There you go. I mean, that's how a lot of those car rides go.
That's right.
So, and it's hard to get, but they trickle out when you do high-low. So that's been a great tradition I've loved of ours.
Yeah.
Another one, this U.S. Open weekend.
Oh, that's right.
We've always watched the U.S. Open on Father's Day, or we played a family scramble.
I'm going to ask you to give me your picks if you have them.
Okay, you ready for mine?
I'm ready.
All right, Scotty, of course. Gotta go Scotty. Morikawa, Finau, Rory, Spieth, and then my wild cards or my alternates, Tiger Woods. You just can't not have the conversation and not put Tiger in, because you never know. And Aberg, am I saying it right? Aberg. Oberg, sorry.
Ludwig.
Sorry, Ludwig. Sorry, Ludwig, if I'm saying your name wrong. Ludwig Oberg?
That's it.
There we go. Yep. So there's my picks. Who do you got?
Oh, I'm just going to have to go on the fly here. I'm going to start with my wild card.
Okay.
My wild card is Harry Higgs.
I love that.
Yeah, he played at SMU. So he's won his last two tournaments on the Korn Ferry Tour in sudden death, so extra holes. And then he got into the U.S. Open on sudden death and extra holes.
Okay.
So the guy is just winning everything. He's putting a little stress on himself. But,
just a little.
Yeah. But I think he's my wild card, so I'm going to go with that.
Awesome.
And then I'm just going to kind of wing it. I always start with Jordan, because I want Jordan to win another major.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
It's kind of back in the day when people used to root for Phil to win a U.S. Open.
Or Freddie.
Or Freddie, yeah, just like the All-American person. Yeah. So I'm going to go Jordan. Yes. I'm going to go Rory, Scotty, of course. You can't rule Xander out.
No, yeah, he's one I have him on my list too.
And I think And I think another All-American favorite is Max Homa.
Yes.
So.
Well, he's definitely our girls' favorite.
Yeah.
Our they're going to kill me for saying this. Sorry, girls, they're going to kill me. But they're big Max Homa fans. And it always goes, they have their picks and then they say, but if we're going off looks, Max Homa. I'm like, you're not picking the U.S. Open winner off looks.
They do.
You're picking it off of their playing ability. So anyway, yeah. So,
what's the other kid they like?
Will Zalatoris?
Zally.
They call him Zally.
Zally.
They call him Zally.
Someone go Zally.
Okay.
That's my fifth one.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. Good luck. Have fun. We hope you enjoy. I want to know some of your traditions. So down below, if you're watching this on YouTube, let us know. I want to know your Father's Day traditions and what you do. We've often done family scramble in the past in the morning and then go watch the tournament.
They start out really fun and then they end up not being so fun.
It gets a little competitive in the Escamilla family scramble. It's mom and the boys against dad and the girls.
Yeah.
And
dad's not that good.
And neither is mom. So it's really the kids against the kids.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun.
It was fun when Alex was 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Not so much fun anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty competitive. And unfortunately, we won't be able to do that this year, but that's okay. Yeah. We will enjoy the traditions, and we hope you enjoy your Father's Day traditions, whatever they may be. And we just want to wish Happy Father's Day to everyone, because it is a day that we really should be honoring every day, because it's the toughest job. Like what you do, you are a rock. You are everything in our family.
I think that's most dads. The dad feels like he wears the cape, and he didn't want to let anybody down.
Yeah, you are super dad.
Well, I think every dad again feels that way. It's like, and you don't want to let yourself down, but you definitely don't want to let your family down. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. You deserve a day. Put your phones down. It's a memory. Enjoy what the kids have for you, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say buy the shoes, but I don't know. Watch the game.
Why not? Watch the game.
Yeah.
And really, like what you said, enjoy every moment,
Yeah.
because the moments go by so fast.
Yeah.
And and you just can't get them back. So enjoy being celebrated. I think it's hard for dads to be celebrated. You're used to doing the celebrating for everybody else, right? And so I think it is hard to receive that. So I hope all the dads can receive that this Father's Day. What else were we going to talk about? Oh, we were going to talk about, we are one of Midland's biggest cheerleaders, I think. We love West Texas. We love local. We're always telling people shop local. We shout them out on the show all the time. So today we wanted to shout out some that maybe haven't gotten a lot of love lately. And so we wanted to shout out some that we like, some local businesses, because we support local 100%, and wanted to shout them out. So I'm going to start with Al's favorite that we get on Sunday. You know where this is going.
Mm-hmm, I do.
TNT Donuts on Wadley.
That's right. Chocolate.
Chocolate donuts.
With strawberries.
Yes. So,
on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Sunday only.
Yes. So, want to shout them out because TNT is the best.
So good.
Wall Street, one of our favorites.
Mm-hmm.
We love eating at Wall Street. They have the best salad and bread and tortilla soup.
Yeah.
So, do you have any you want to shout out?
Let me think.
Oh, here's one.
Oh, yeah. Golf headquarters.
Golf headquarters.
They are awesome there. They do such a good job. And, they have a new podcast themselves.
They do. So go listen to their podcast. They're doing great. Jared and his partner are doing a fantastic job.
It's the GHQ show.
Yes, GHQ crew. Crew
yeah,
show.
GHQ
Crew show.
Yeah.
So
really
follow them on YouTube. They're doing a great job. If you love golf as much as we do, and all you want to hear is golf, or not all about. You hear great stories, but if you want to be focused and listening on local golf and just the stories, go listen.
They did a
you
series
will enjoy
on what it's like to be a college golfer, and with Richmond Houston, and I thought that was really good.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think it's a really good podcast. So please go listen, get information, and it's fun, and we like them, and they're good guys. So there you go. So another good local. Oh, lately we had a hailstorm. For those of you not living in Texas, and so we have listeners all over the world. We want to say hi to the listeners all over the world. California. Colorado, Mississippi, Georgia. Those are some of our big states that listen. But they're also listening in Mexico, South Africa. what did I see today? Paris. I was like, hey, Paris, maybe we need to do take the show on the road to Paris.
Let's do it.
Go meet our 5 listeners in Paris. But we want to thank them all for listening. But if you're not from this area, you may not know that we had a big hailstorm, right?
That's right.
And so we've been getting a lot of phone calls from roofers. And so support your local roofers. And we have a lot of great ones. I know I've been getting some calls lately from some saying, hey, watch out for these out-of-town roofers. Right. I'm here local. So Chapel Roofing, Roofs by Nicholas. You could Google roof and see their experience, and you'll know they're from here. Yeah. And I think that's, support local.
That's right.
If you can. Who else? Anybody else you want to shout out?
I'm sure. Maybe I can drop it in the comments.
Okay. Drop it. I like that. Use the technology. Drop it in the comments. What else? What else is going on? Anything else on your mind you want to share with us on this?
I think
on this week, it's summer, and I know something you and I've talked about a little bit is everyone gets excited for summer, but give a little grace. Give a little grace to parents.
Summers are hard.
During summer,
summers are hard. I mean, it's supposed to be yay, school's out, but for moms and dads, especially moms, it's tough.
They're definitely the workload is back on, right? Yeah. Double, especially, especially both ways. If you're stay at home mom or dad, you are running around. If you're a working parent, your kids need you to entertain them and run them around and get them to camp and get them to all their activities. And so it looks and feels different.
It really
right?
does.
So give grace. Give grace this summer. And right now all the teachers are celebrating. They're like, yes.
Well, we saw a bus of kids leaving is it Stonegate Youth Camp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I told Krista, I said, deep down they just want to cheer when those buses drive off. But there was some moms with tears.
I heard
one dad go, woohoo!
Yeah, there was a lot of tears in one woohoo. And we laughed so hard. We were like, we feel you, buddy.
That's right.
Feel you. He was like, yes, I get a little break
for
the
tough,
week. So give parents a little bit of grace. That's all. Yeah. And everybody needs grace. I think it's an important thing to give. And the older we get, the more we give it because we know how much we need it in return. And so I just think it's
one day they're going to look back and go, how did we do that? Because that's what you and I do.
Right.
It's just so busy.
Right. When they're little. And I know. I saw a mom of 4 the other day that had them spaced out about the ages ours were at one time. And you just kind of go, whoo. I just looked at her and I said, it's going to get easier. I promise you it's going to get easier, because she had that look that I know that we had so often, that you're tired, you're exhausted, but it is also beautiful too, because gosh, we miss it. We miss those days. So enjoy it.
Right.
Okay. I can't think of anything else. Do you want to think? No. Okay. That's
good.
it. Oh, we should do a quote of the day. Let's finish with a quote. Pull one out.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. One of my favorite things that we do here at the Krista Escamilla Show. We talk quotes.
I got the strong.
Yeah, well, it's just so appropriate for you, because you are the strength. Seriously, you are the rock of our family. And so that you are so strong.
The greatest glory in living lies not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. I really thought about this one today, because
you're kidding, because that's tomorrow's quote of the day.
Wow.
For my post tomorrow.
So where does this go?
That is crazy. That is crazy.
So
okay.
I knew we were going to do this today, and then I forgot everything that I prepared for when I sat here. But it happens. One of the things that I thought about was, as a parent, let your kids struggle a little bit, and don't always. We always say we're always going to be your parachute. It's just the older you get, the lower the parachute goes.
Right.
But it's okay to struggle, and I think that's important.
That's how you learn.
Because we do so much to protect our kids. That I think that in this day and age, it's even more so, because, our parents, we went out and played until it got dark, and nobody was texting us and checking on us.
Nope.
But I think one of the things that I would say is it's okay to have challenges in your life.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's how you learn.
Use them as learning experiences.
That's how you grow. Right. What is your favorite memory as a parent?
I would say the road trips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then we used to drive around in a 99 Suburban, and we would strap the golf.
Which we still have, by the way. It's
right
out
outside.
front.
Yeah.
It's now our delivery
That's
van.
right.
Yeah,
So
van.
and we would strap the golf clubs and the push carts to the top, and we looked like the Beverly Hillbillies pulling in to the hotel.
Yep, we did.
And so when we were finally upgraded to a new one, the kids asked us, "Can we take the old one?"
They liked it better. It said it was more comfortable, a little more worn in, and we were in shock. We're like, really?
Really? We're trying to give you all this brand new vehicle, and you're
You don't
just
want
like,
the leather seats? Nope.
No,
No,
I wanted the old one.
No, which goes to prove that you don't need the most expensive. You don't have to always have the most expensive and the upgrades and this and that. It's more really about the comfort and the love and the memories. So.
I will say, back in our day, there weren't, the AirPods weren't popular. So now, it's like you're talking to your kid, but he's just not even listening to you, right?
On a road trip, yeah.
Yeah.
Road trips have changed a little. That's
We
true.
talked about at dinner wearing our AirPods at dinner and not
Yeah.
acknowledging our
See how it
children.
goes. Like, we should try it one time.
should.
We really should. I'm with you. The road trips are the best.
Those are so much fun.
Great memories. And I think that's what I kind of want to leave today with is just go make beautiful memories with your family, because when at the end of your life, you're never going to say, boy, I wish I worked more. You're going to say, boy, I wish I had more memories with my loved ones.
That's right.
And
I remember one time we were going to California, and we were counting how many times the song would come on the radio.
yes.
Despacito.
Despacito.
And we hear that today, and the kids are like, no
more Despacito. I think it played at least 30 times there and back to
It
California.
was fun when we started, and they were like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
here it comes again.
I know. That was great.
That was
a
fun.
good memory. Well, I just want to say happy Father's Day to you.
thank you
You're the
so
best,
much.
and I love you so much.
I love you
And
too.
our fathers were both great examples for us, and,
right.
and you emulate everything that I could ever imagine and wanted for a partner to be from the father of my children. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
I love you so
doing
much.
I love doing it.
It has been a journey and a blessing, and I say it all the time. I wish I could do it all over again. I would do it all over again in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But now we get to raise adult children, which is just as good.
That's right.
I do. We always talk about a book. Do you have any books you're reading?
I'm reading a lot of books.
I know.
But last week you had somebody on about mental health, and so men do not really acknowledge mental health, especially men my age.
Yes.
It was always hey, suck it up, buttercup, let's go, and it still is.
Yeah.
And to some degree,
To
it's
some
okay.
degree, right.
So
but
I can't remember the name. Well, I can look it up.
yeah, you can look it up. Absolutely.
So I was going through Men's Health one time, and I was really intrigued by the way this guy wrote, and then I found out he had a book. So one book I'm reading right now is Sea Stories by Admiral William McRaven. He wrote Make Your Bed.
Make Your Bed, which is a great book. If
So
you
I'm
have
reading that.
graduates, that's such a good book.
And then the second one I'm reading is The Self-Healing Mind,
Self-healing.
and the
Okay.
author is Gregory Scott Brown. And I've learned so much by
Yeah.
reading that, that I think every man should read it.
Okay.
It's so good, and I've learned a lot, because you do realize, you're like, well, I guess during that time I was going through, some depression and some anxiety, and then he talks about, he just talks about so much. I just
Right.
highly recommend it. It's a really good book.
Yeah, I love that, and that's a great Father's Day gift. I mean, there
really
you go.
is.
We're looking, if you're looking for a Father's Day gift, that book would be great. Or the other one about the Admiral, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I'm reading High Road Leadership from the amazing John C. Maxwell.
Yeah.
But I want to share the other book that I think is just awesome for any of you out there that are parenting adult children, and I want to make sure I get the title right as well. So I'm going to Google it too. But I think it's Doing Life with Your Adult
Oh, yeah.
Children. I want to make sure. Hey, I got it right. Doing Life with Your Adult Children by Jim Burns. So good.
That is really
And it says something about keep your mouth shut and your doormat open.
And that's been my motto, for the last maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
My goal today is to not say anything and keep my mouth shut.
And it's a good book. It is great, but it's really about just kind of, having a plan of your kids going off into the world and how to teach them about finances and get them going. And so it's taught me a lot, and we've been trying to implement it. I sat the girls down the other day, and they looked at me like, what is wrong
What
with
is
you?
this?
What is this? And I said,
And why now?
Yeah, and why now? I said, well, because we need to talk about this, because we need to have a game plan
That's right.
to get you financially on your own. And this is... They were just like, really? But, it's good advice and it's good stuff. So there's our books that we're reading. And I think that's it. I think we should wrap it up.
Okay.
Unless you have anything else you want to say?
No, I think it's awesome.
You want to do the question of the day, or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, we just want to thank everyone. We have loved this journey of podcasting, which now we're going on 5 years. Podcasting, and we've enjoyed it so much. The Krista Escamilla Show is going on its
2 years.
We just celebrated 2 years. Before that, we had an oil and gas podcast. But what we've loved most is hearing your stories. So if there's someone's story that you want to hear, if you want to share your story, we're going to make this easier. We've talked about it, where they can send us an email and fill out a form, because what happens is someone says, oh, you should have so-and-so. So I have this list a mile long. And so I try to get everyone on as soon as I can. But I seriously have this list a mile long of potential guests. And I tell everyone, everybody's a potential guest. I want to hear everyone's story. So if there is someone, send us an email. You reach out on social media. We are going to make it easier at some point. We'll let you know when we do that. But in the meantime, just reach out to us and let us know. And
we're easy to find.
Yeah, we're easy to find. We will do our best to get you on, or get your loved one on and share their story, because I want to hear their story. If it's important to you, it's going to be important to us. So I think that's it. I'll wrap it up with thank you to our sponsors. And thank you to Rig ID and Tapestry Hotel Midland and Midland Cap Company, ThinFR, JoinCapClub.com.
Thank you to all our customers.
Oh, thank you to our customers, yes. Yeah. And I want to thank everyone who they nominated the podcast for Best Show Host this year. I don't know who won. I don't know, and it doesn't matter, because to me, you guys really, I think that you're all winners. Like, I want everyone to win. I want all the podcasts to do well. So whoever does win, congratulations. I think everyone should use this medium, because it is a great way to get your message out.
And there's so many, when we started 5 years ago, there was
not that many.
Yeah, you probably put them in one hand,
Right.
And now, one of the things that you've always said is, if you're a business owner, you need a podcast.
Yeah.
And that's so true. And there's so many different ways to do it. And I love seeing all the new ones. There's plenty of room for everybody.
I do too. That's right. And I'm cheering for you. I want your podcast to succeed. I want them all to. I just want us to all learn and grow together. So however that looks for you, I hope that you do it. And I hope that you find the fulfillment and know that you are changing lives. That's whether you have one listener or whether you have thousands of listeners, right?
That's
I mean, that's what helping people is about. Whether, you help one person and make a difference. And the stories that we hear back from people that have been helped through a guest of ours, oh, it makes me cry. Like, I mean, there have been so many that I literally tear up when they send that email, or to call you or call me and say, hey, this person changed my life, and I thank you. I wouldn't have known about them if it hadn't been for the podcast.
Yeah, so. I want to have a cardiologist on.
Yes.
Talk about men's health a little bit.
We do need to do that, because
we've talked about it.
We haven't even talked about your health journey, and if you want to right now.
No, I mean, we can maybe say that for a different one.
Okay, we're going to get a
card. I'm all good.
Yes, that is the good news. But we want everyone to get checked.
That's right.
and we want everyone to be all good. So mind, body, and spirit. That's it. All right, sweetie. All right. I enjoyed it. It's fun as always. Love you. And loved what we get to do. I hear every day. I hope that each and every one of you get to live your best life and know that we're all in this together. If there's anything we can ever do, we're here to cheer you on and support you. Don't forget my mottos. What are they? Dream big, believe, and never give up. That's right.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, everyone. You make it a great day.